Welcome back. More weird and creepy TikToks. Let's do it.
Viewers, you don't know who the cameraman is.
No
You
way.
don't know why you're being made to see these things. Nor do I. You're seeing me. I can't even see you. I may be dead by the time you watch this. Very possibly are. You don't know who's the man who's making things he wants you to see. Destroy your television sets. Now. Just listen to no orders. That's all I can tell you at this point.
How do you think people would feel if they found out that they now work more than peasants ever did in the past? Like, when you begin to study history, you begin to realize that during the ancient days, when the peasants kind of worked on the land of the kings, they only worked 140 days out of the year. For the other remaining 200 days, they chilled and they didn't work. Them and their families went to the creek, they went to the river, they played around. Half of the year they couldn't work on the land because it was snowing. But today we actually work more than they did. Most people work more than the peasants used to and have less to show for it. They have no land, they have no house, they have nothing. It's like a modern day trick, and we didn't even realize it. It's the illusion of freedom.
I understand that technology was different back in the 1960s, but how as a society did we fall for this? I know they controlled the narrative back then because what you saw on the TV or what you heard on the radio is what you believe. But what in the Hollywood film production is going on with this video? Look at this carpet-looking view of Earth. Bro, they could have at least added more to the budget. But once again, we're talking about 1960s. If he was actually in space, this cord right here shouldn't be moving the way that it is. Should be no tug and pull, no resistance, but that shit is moving like it has gravity attached to it. And if you actually see the original clip, because I removed the audio, everybody is playing their role. Everybody is playing their part in this video. Dispatchers, the scientists, they're talking about it, what breakthrough is happening. Like, bro, this shit is crazy. And when I see things like this, it makes me wonder what else was real news in that Hollywood scene. Once again, like how I said, granted, the resources were very different in the 1960s. But if we bought this, what are we buying currently right now? They woke my people. This is a joke.
There can't be anyone on this planet still alive that believes this footage. Come on, man.
Is the Earth round?
I would say no.
What shape is it?
I just believe that we live on a flat plane. Yeah, like a huge flat plane. Yeah. It's only because I've traveled so much and I see like...
Did you ever get to the edge of the earth?
Nah.
Okay.
It's not that. There's more... I think that there's more masses than just what we see.
Just the earth.
Because we lived... It was one thing before and it's like spread out.
Yeah,
So it's layered like a pastry.
I wouldn't say layered like a pastry. I would just say like if this rug was the world, we would probably be like over there somewhere, and then there's just way
There's
more
other shit that we haven't discovered.
Honestly, even I, who make these kind of videos, don't want to admit that I think the Earth is flat. So I think there's a lot of people out there that probably have this thought these days that just don't want to admit it.
Are they purposely trying to mind control us with cartoons? Watch this.
This is how babies are secretly getting drugged. In fact, see for yourself.
The elites are really starting the programming at a very young age now. This kid was almost fast asleep, and then this program woke him right up.
Kids watch Cocomelon, they enter a trance-like state due to the usage of constantly changing intense colors, which are very high in contrast. In fact, they are the same tactics used in emergency notifications and ambulance sirens to demand attention. Shows like these experiment on babies by showing them two screens where they play their show on one screen and simple everyday activities like nature or pouring a cup of coffee.
So basically, they're using experiments to see which mind control works best.
Unfortunately, parents are far too busy and turn to quick fixes like Cocomelon to get kids to stop annoying them. But remember,
thanks for watching, y'all. Stay weird.
At this stage, and you don't want to turn them into...
Man, kids shows have always been creepy, but Cocomelon is a different level. Keep your kids away from it. Don't teach robots how to fight. Come on, man. If you're enjoying this, please consider liking and subscribing. It would help me a lot. Thank you.
What is this? What the fuck is that? What the fuck is that? Imagine we get shot for recording. That's a UFO, blood. No.
Wallahi, that's a UFO, bro.
No way. No, that's not a What the fuck?
Yo.
No way, that's a UFO. Nah. What the fuck is this?
Yo.
Abnormal loads. What? What the
Hey,
fuck? It says sighted on the back.
I very much doubt that's a UFO.
What's the problem here? So here we have a map of the British Isles, and you see down here very prominently displayed is Stonehenge. Where did the altar stone come from? It came from all the way up here. The same type of rock here, up south at the very northern tip of Scotland. It actually also shows up on the Orkney Islands here. What's the problem here? Obviously, some method of transport had to be utilized to get that stone 460 plus miles from the northern tip of Scotland down to the building site at Stonehenge, right? In this article, which appeared in Nature, it's entitled A Scottish Provenance, the Altar Stone of Stonehenge. We posit that the altar stone was anthropogenically transported to Stonehenge from northeast Scotland, consistent with evidence of Neolithic inhabitation in the region, whereas the igneous blue stones were brought around 225 kilometers or 140 miles. A Scottish province or the altar stone demands a transport distance of at least 466 miles. Nonetheless, even with assistance from beasts of burden, rivers, and topographical barriers, including the Grampians, southern uplands, and the Pennines, all mountain ranges, along with the heavily forested landscape of prehistoric Britain, would have posed formidable obstacles for overland megalith transportation.
And same as the pyramids. How would they have got it from A to B if they only had horses and carts and stuff back then? There must have been, whether it's some sort of technology we've never experienced before, or they just had faster vehicles than we realized, or some sort of flying devices. It's not that crazy to imagine after all the stuff we've seen these days.
So these tunnels underground, which lead to a vast city beneath Manhattan, were created by the Vanderlei family, who were one of 7 families that allegedly came from beyond the ice wall and discovered our world centuries ago.
Exactly. Story goes our world's a whole lot bigger than we've been led to believe, buddy. That we are allegedly surrounded by this massive ice wall. Somewhere far outside of this ice wall, there is a place called the Ancestral Lands. This is where the Vanderleis were from. They, along with 6 other families, reigned supreme over the Ancestral Lands. They were like royalty. Amidst one of their expeditions, they discovered a massive wall made of ice in the middle of the ocean. Eventually, they found passages in the ice wall big enough for their ship to get inside. And the weeks that followed marked the discovery of 7 different continental landmasses. Each family claimed one. And so our world was born. They devised a plan to populate each continent with their own people from the ancestral lands, but only embryos. So they, or we, would have no knowledge of our origins.
If this whole flight was fake, they can't be stupid enough to use 2 different models that look different for us to notice. They have to be doing that on purpose to rub it in our face somehow, to get us arguing or something. Now, this is too crazy. It's too obvious.
I'm sure a lot of you probably have seen this famous jellyfish type UFO incident that came out of Mexico back in 2018, right? And this one was genuinely weird. And I'll put more of this video at the end so we can kind of look at it as a comparison. But I've been tagged in this video quite a lot. And to me, this is like a strange object that kind of floats down over some rubble. It spooks a pack of dogs and it kind of carries on in the opposite direction. But to me, it kind of exhibits more so like a balloon behavior. I'm not sure, like a number 8 balloon or like an animal balloon in nature. And it kind of floats over the railway and like kind of goes back up into the air and disappears again. I mean, it does look hella weird. And I think the night vision isn't helping the scenario in itself. And it's, yeah, I'm not sure. To me, this just kind of feels like a balloon, bruv. But if we look at this video, right, this is way different, and this kind of looks more so like the ones that we see way up in the sky, like the atmospheric jellyfish UFO UAPs, whatever you want to call them, that we witness. And as it goes along, like it's got its shadow and it kind of morphs and it changes in its shape, and then it kind of exhibits that usual plasma glinting that we see way up in the atmosphere as well. And this one is weird, so it doesn't look anything like that. I'm not sure, man. You guys let me know what you think, but yeah, that's my kind of.
People talk glibly about science. What is science? People coming out of a university with a master's degree or a PhD, you take them into the field and they literally don't believe anything unless there's a peer-reviewed paper. It's the only thing they accept. And you say to them, but let's observe, let's think, let's discuss. They don't do it. It's just, is it in a peer-reviewed paper or not? That's their view of science. I think it's pathetic. Gone into universities as bright young people. They come out of them brain dead, not even knowing what science means. They think it means peer-reviewed papers, etc. No, that's academia. And if a paper is peer-reviewed, it means everybody thought the same, therefore they approved it. An unintended consequence is that when new knowledge emerges, new scientific insights, they can never, ever be peer-reviewed. So we're blocking all new advances in science that are big advances. If you look at the breakthroughs in science, almost always they don't come from the center of that profession. They come from the fringe. The finest candle makers in the world couldn't even think of electric lights. They don't come from within. They often come from outside the breaks. We're going to kill ourselves because of stupidity.
Now, I think in any field, whether it's archaeology or history or anything like this, if something was to come out, some new discovery, like Egypt with this stuff underneath the pyramids, if it attacks the narrative of the general population of that field, they're not even going to entertain it. It won't even get to the point of being peer-reviewed. They'll just dismiss it.
He chased him all the way down there. He's out of breath already.
That guy was too fat for that kid. He's like me. He does have some hard gear.
He's got all the top gear on, he can't move. He's got too much weight on him.
Yeah. I got all out video, I know.
Yeah, so am I. I've got that from the top.
Hey, Busty, what's the help? Can't drown him.
Go drown him.
He's too heavy, isn't it? Well, I got you. March up! That's Trevor out of GTA, isn't it? There's no way we'll get him there. No. He's struggling, bro.
They're both out of breath. They're both struggling.
Where's that ring? That ring off. His boots are sinking him.
He's got too much weight on him. He's got too much weight to be going.
Jeremy, it's like fuck you. Hey, no, he's walking now.
He's even weight. Yeah. Sticking his finger out to him and also. Yes.
He's gone.
He's gone.
That guy didn't mess about, man. He's got his phone.
Go back!
He's going to give up. We might want to come back.
Yeah, he just knows.
The other thing they're going to talk about is UAPs. They're going to release all the UAP information. So you're the guy to ask about this. What if any possibility is there that there is some sort of advanced propulsion system technology that's being worked on in secret? And that they're trying to cover this up with this talk of aliens and alien tech and not of this world. And is it possible that there's some sort of very secret program that's going on in cahoots with some defense contractors that are developing advanced propulsion systems that they're using for these drones?
I mean, SpaceX, my company SpaceX has the most advanced rocket technology in the world. I think I'd know.
Right.
And to the best of my knowledge, there is not any magic. There's not like some super advanced propulsion technology.
There have been people who have theorized different gravity drives and different things. Is there anything that's ever gotten past the theoretical stage?
No.
Nothing.
Well, there's nothing even that I'm aware of that works in theory. It's not like I would like this to exist, to be clear. I would like this to exist. And I have from a security clearance standpoint, I have top secret. I have equivalent of like an all access pass from a security clearance standpoint. So, I don't think they're hiding it from me. Basically, I don't think they could,
unless it's completely in these weapons manufacturing corporations.
I mean, I know these weapons manufacturing companies, like Boeing, Lockheed, and Northrop. I mean, yeah, they do some interesting things, but they do not have. There's no breakthrough that they have.
So
I'm confident they do not have a breakthrough.
When you hear people
like, why don't they just compete with SpaceX and make a better rocket? In which case, they can make. Why are they holding back on making a lot of money from beating SpaceX with better rockets?
My thought was that what if it's just a drone and you can't have a biological entity inside of it because it just bursts from the fucking speed that it's moving at? That a human couldn't tolerate the amount of force. So they're just drones.
I don't think so.
So what do you think people like Ryan Graves and Commander David Fravor...
I want cool things to exist.
Right.
We've seen an increase of this stuff in the air ever since the drones. And the drones, they've admitted that was the government. So it's clear in my eyes that all of this stuff in the sky is still just us, just reverse engineered stuff. Like recently they've started talking about that as well. It just makes sense.
The Pope died the day after Easter. Let that sink in. The man seen as Christ's representation on earth passes just 24 hours after the resurrection is celebrated worldwide. That's not just timing. That's symbolism. What is divine? Was it planned? Or was it a message hidden in plain sight? When the shepherd falls right after the lamb rises, something deeper is at play. Watch the signs. They never lie.
Now, the thing that sinks the global ship is called crepuscular sun rays. Here I have a piece of cardboard that I have cut the edges out perfectly on the edge of this cardboard. Now, over here, we have a flashlight, which we're going to use as our sun source. Now, let's go over here and turn the light out. Notice that the shadow of the edges of the cardboard are parallel with each other. That would be 93 million miles away. They'd all be parallel with each other. Now, let's watch what happens to the shadows of these edges when I move them in close to the light source. That's when you get your crepuscular sun rays. Now, if you don't understand this, apparently you failed science and physics. This right here proves that the sun is very local and close. That's the only possible way to get crepuscular sun rays. And as you can see, when I move the cardboard away, the light on the floor is a perfect triangle leading up to the light source. The ancient Egyptians knew this for thousands of years. They even depict it in their artwork, and it's hidden right there in your face every day.
In my gut, something is telling me the sun is just not that far away. And experiments like this is why I kind of lean towards flat earth these days, honestly. That's unfortunate for today. If you're still here, I appreciate you. I'll catch you tomorrow. Take it easy.
Before I fall to the system, I'm gonna try and do good with my gifting and pray to the Lord for some wisdom. Pray. Hopefully someone will listen. Amen.